What if everything we believe about our origins is wrong? For more than 100 years, the mainstream scientific community has clung to one single, clear origin story for all life on Earth. It starts small. Life began as a simple, self-replicating molecule floating in the warm, primordial soup of the early planet. It evolved slowly, generation after generation, one small mutation at a time. From single cells, it grew into multi-celled organisms. From simple, multi-celled life, it branched into complex ecosystems across land, sea, and air. From those ecosystems, it produced us. The fossil records line up perfectly with modern genetic data. Radiometric dating of ancient rocks matches every timeline model scientists have built. For the vast majority of the last century, every major new discovery has fit neatly into this pre-existing story. No observation has broken the frame. No data has demanded a rewrite. The narrative holds, solid as concrete, accepted as fact by almost every working researcher in the world. For generations, this has been the truth we teach, the truth we build on, the truth that answers the oldest question humanity has ever asked: where did we come from? But that solid consensus has never been able to fill every hole. Gaps remain, big ones. The first gap opens at the very beginning of the story. No controlled experiment, even designed to perfectly match the conditions of early Earth, has ever created a living cell from non-living chemicals. No lab has even come close. The spontaneous jump from inert chemistry to self-replicating life remains entirely unproven. The second gap hits 530 million years ago, at what geologists call the Cambrian explosion. In less than 10 million years, less than a blink of an eye in evolutionary time, almost every modern animal body plan appears fully formed in the fossil record. There are no clear transitional fossils leading into this event. No step-by-step record of slow change that fits the standard evolutionary model. The body plans we see today are just there, suddenly, with no clear precursors. The third gap lands right at us, at humanity. Our species pops into the fossil record roughly 300,000 years ago. We went from chipping simple stone hand axes to building rocket ships, writing symphonies, mapping DNA in less than 1% of the total time life has existed on this planet. No other primate ever made that jump. No other species on Earth has ever even come close. These are not small holes in the data. They are fractures running straight through the core of the accepted story. For decades, mainstream science has written off these gaps as simple errors in preservation. The missing links, researchers argue, just haven't been found yet. The fossil record is incomplete, they say, and future digs will fill the holes. But what if the holes aren't in the fossils? What if the holes are in the story itself? Advances in genetic sequencing over the last 2 decades have let scientists map the full human genome down to the last base pair. That mapping has uncovered something no one expected, something strange. 1.5% of the human genome does not match any known ancestor from the primate evolutionary line. That may sound like a small number, but it is enough to code for hundreds of distinct functional proteins. Even more startling, many of these unmatched sequences do not appear in any other living organism on Earth. They are unique to us. And what do? They do not regulate bone growth, or digestion, or any of the basic biological functions we share with other primates. They regulate brain development. They directly shape the neural connections that give us the ability for abstract thought, for complex language, for long-term planning that no animal on Earth can match. This measurable anomaly has forced some theorists to step outside the accepted evolutionary framework and ask a question no mainstream researcher will touch. What if natural evolution alone is not the full picture of how we got here? 2 distinct controversial explanations have emerged to account for the unmatched genetic sequences. The first points to deliberate intervention from an outside source. These theorists argue that an advanced intelligent species existed on Earth long before recorded human history. That species, they claim, found a primitive early hominid on the savannah, extracted its DNA, and edited key sequences into the genome to boost cognitive function. They rewrote the code for brain development to create a species capable of abstract thought and complex cooperation. That edited genome is the one we carry today. The second theory reaches even further beyond Earth. It claims that life itself did not originate here on our planet. It was seeded from space, carried on the frozen cores of comets that crashed into the young Earth billions of years ago. The building blocks of complex life, including the genetic sequences that code for high intelligence, hitched a ride from another world with a much longer evolutionary history. In this model, humanity's unique abilities did not evolve here at all. They were brought to us from somewhere else, already fully formed. Both theories reject the core claim of mainstream science. Both agree. Natural evolution cannot explain who we are. Mainstream science does not entertain either of these ideas. Most researchers label them pseudoscience. They dismiss the genetic anomaly as a product of random genetic drift, explain the gaps in the fossil record as incomplete sampling, and close the book on the entire question. But the dismissal does not answer the questions. We still cannot recreate the creation of a living cell from non-living chemicals in any lab that replicates early Earth conditions. We still do not have a clear explanation for the sudden explosion of complex body plans during the Cambrian explosion. We still cannot explain why human intelligence exploded into existence in a geological blink of an eye, when no other species on the planet made the same leap. We still cannot explain why 1.5% of our genome carries unique sequences that no primate, no other organism on Earth can claim. The questions do not go away when you label them pseudoscience. They linger. They wait. They push us to ask one final, unignorable question. What if humanity is not just a product of natural selection? What if there was another hand at play, guiding our origins from the very beginning?